1500 meters. So Timothy Cheruiyot, the world champion, against Jakob Ingebrigtsen, this prodigious Norwegian talent. Well, Tim and I were discussing the pace that they've been asked to run, and it is very, very quick. They want 54 and bits for the first lap, and then continue to 150 through 800 meters. Cheruiyot says he likes to go out hard, and he has done here. There's that action of his, that characteristic forward lean, and he's already got a big gap. The Ingebrigtsens have said, no, we're not going to go out that hard. You go out, if you're fit enough at this stage of the year, fine. And Cheruiyot's brought his two pacemakers to take it out. Jakob and Philip leading the rest of the pack, with Jake Whiteman, Charlie Grice, Craig Engels lining up, and they're already running pretty quick as well. They're with the lights, the others are ahead of them, Tim.
Well, I mean, the way he's set out, you'd think he's attacking the world record here, Cheruiyot. Look at that gap, 15, 17 metres back to Jakob Ingebrigtsen, with his brother Philip in effectively 5th place, but 2nd place at that column at the top of picture. Very, very quick indeed from Cheruiyot, and I don't know, he's going to maintain this.
52.5?
That's insane.
Have you ever seen the first lap of a sensible, well, what is a
Filbert
sensible
Bayi, that's what comes to mind.
52? My word. Well, they're going to slow down, they already have. And Timothy Cheruiyot's just wasted a bit of energy. He's good enough to suck that up, though. And what will happen with the rest of the pack? They are with a good pace, but the lights now have caught up with the leaders. Sign, the older of the two pacemakers, the youngster Kita, looks as though he's chopping at his heels, but the gap closing now. Jakob dragging the rest of the field back to the world champion as they approach 800 meters. I think, Tim, they're not going to be far off 60 seconds, the leaders, for this second lap of theirs.
That was poor pacemaking, Steve. I mean, he's going to have to pay for that. Look at that second lap, 58.65 after a high 52s. That is crazy. I know that you need about a 2-second differential generally in the opening lap, and a lot of people say bank the seconds on that first lap, but not down in the 52s. 54.5 would have been very quick indeed. And they've closed up. Look at that gap, 5 metres. It was 20 metres a minute and a half ago.
And that gap, as you said, is just a few metres now. The two Ingebrigtsen brothers, joined by Jake Whiteman of Great Britain, who's in very good form himself. His first big race at 1500 metres has clocked a couple of good 800 times, and the world champion is going to be left on his own now as he takes the bell with only a 4-metre lead. The 19-year-old Norwegian closing with every stride. Cheruiyot looking a little bit vulnerable here.
He is indeed, yes. The Ingebrigtsens have run a far more sensible pace. Jake Whiteman of Great Britain to the right of picture has just hung on to their coattails, and it'll be a real test of Cheruiyot's strength here, his will, as they have 250 to go with that trio hunting him down.
The world champion leading ahead of Jakob, European gold medalist, and Philip Ingebrigtsen as well. And look at Whiteman of Great Britain. What a big move from him. He's still got something left. He just decides to check in behind Jakob. And Cheruiyot got to find something here. He's under pressure, real pressure. The world champion finding a little bit extra, kicks away again. Jakob Ingebrigtsen is still there. It's a metre, it's not shortening. The world champion's going to hang on. Will it be under 3:30? It's well under. And Ingebrigtsen will be rewarded with an incredibly fast time. So will Jake Whiteman of Great Britain. That will shove him, if not, it certainly won't be a national record. Mo Farah took that here a few years ago. But the young Jakob Ingebrigtsen and Whiteman really gave this man a race that he'll not forget. It's a world-leading 3:28.45, Tim. But when he looks at the splits, he's won in a super fast time. When he looks at the splits, he'll kind of go, wow. And look at that, Jake Whiteman. Well, I can tell he's just moved to 2nd on the British all-time list.
Ahead of you.
And usurped you-know-who.
Oh, that's got to hurt. 3:29.47 for Jake Whiteman. That's not a personal best. That is superhuman from Jake Whiteman. Brilliant stuff in 3rd place. And that acceleration Jake put in with 200 to run. But the pacing, I think, for that trio behind Cheruiyot, Steve, was absolutely perfect. And you have to say credit to the Kenyan for managing to hold it together. They're glancing around him, almost smiling, half smile, half grimace there over the last 50 or 60 metres, holding Jakob Ingebrigtsen at bay. I thought he'd be really tested in that final lap, and he was, but he passed the test.
He did, and he stood up and he was counted, absolutely. But goodness me, those two times, Ingebrigtsen and Whiteman behind him, even Philip Ingebrigtsen, 3:30. But great running from Jakob Ingebrigtsen and Jake Whiteman, second on the British all-time list, a new record, another one for